Do you know how which people earn the most amount of capital from their investment? The people who are most educated and most knowledge lover, they earn huge amount of capital from any place, right? Your income is the byproduct of your skill, of your knowledge. So devote yourself learning first and then try to make your revenue. Today our topic is the weekly analysis session. Let's see here. Today our topic is weekly analysis session, the fundamental aspects of market behavior, right? Today analyze is previous week 5 September to the 9th September, right? Do you consider yourself to be somebody who is the most adventurous and like to learn new thing? Then the knowledge is only for you. If you consider yourself a knowledge lover, then the wisdom, the knowledge is only for you, right? Let's go down. Monday, 5th September, there was a news about retail sales month over month in the previous session, July. Here, the expectation was 0.7% and the actual data was minus 0.9%. This is a old scenario cases, right? Here we see the previous was this point and expectation was this point. Means European Union retail sales lower down. This is a clear indication of lower consumption and lower output value, lower demand, right? This means a recession in this session, basically in the European session, right? Tuesday, September 6, USD ISM means service sector perform better. Here we see the data. Our expectation was 55.1 and the actual outcome was 56.9. This is a clear indicator of service sector is perform better and better, and the point is basically above the 15 zone. This means US economy not going to recession in the previous session, and this may a clear indicator of the economy is a stable portion and never going to recession in some month, right? This is the actual point, and to this we saw here our expectation is better and the USD perform more and more better, basically this session. Here we see what is this September 7 European GDP quarter over quarter. The actual was 0.8% and expectation means consensus 0.6%. That data was better than expectation, and this time market behave basically well performed. And again, GDP year over year Q2 quarter 2 actually 4.1 and expectation 3.9. This is a indicator of GDP perform well. Here we see the actual data. Basically, this time the expectation was better. So this economy going may upper and upper this time, right? But basically, we see the 2 point is better in European session, but European zone suffer from a energy crisis, basically war between Russia and Ukraine. This war imposed them lower consumption of energy like oil, gas, and also the consumer price index going higher and higher. Basically, foods foods and grocery prices are more than any other session. Here suffer energy crisis and daily good consumption lower their economy. We see here the GDP is better, but only GDP perform cannot help to perform the euro better and better, right? So we need to observe the sentiment, the bigger means macro impact, basically where and upcoming winter session there needs huge amount of gas for heating purpose for consumer aspects, right? They may suffer lower, they may suffer huge amount of less gas, so their economy may be in a recession moods, right? So Wednesday is September 7, and we see the Tuesday is September 8. GP, JPUI, right? The gross domestic product, GDP means quarter over quarter, and actually the results was 0.9% and expectation was 0.7%. Here we see the any Japan GDP is better than expectation. That means the currency will be go higher and higher. But why the yen is lower in this time, right? The difference between the interest rate in US and in yen lower the consumption in upcoming days, right? Here September 8 was the Australian trade balance, basically month over month in July, and the actual data was also worse than the expectation result. This means trade balance going down and Australian economy basically in a recession mood. So we need to keep on eye what's the interest rates going on in the upcoming session, right? So basically we maximum time need to selling mood the Australian currency. USD initial jobless claim. This is a clear indicator of how economy grow, what the job market behaves these times, and the actual results. And actual results was better, right? This means your job economy growing in any consequent basis, right? This means the USD is stronger in the session. Why USD is strong now, right? The Federal Reserve makes a tendency to increase the interest rates and they post on a aggressive moves. This aggressive mood makes the USD higher and higher, and another other stocks and all other equity market fall these times, and treasury yields are also going down and down. Capital among the G7 currencies, also the USD makes their position displace, but all other currency fall their position. So these times the capital flow outside from the US into the US, and this reason USD going to stronger more and more in this session. Why pound jumps? In the previous session, once time pound jump. We think that some days ago, the Prime Minister of the UK displayed his sentiment for this. The economy was going to a recessions, basically in the crisis of energy and food, right? This imposed the currency war and war down, and there is a lack of leadership place in this session. Minister at this place what energy crisis in the winter session they may fall in a recession. This time why the pound war and higher value a stimulus sector pass their risk sentiment on, and the economy hope that UK PM added a stimulus for the energy prices like electricity, gas, oil. This they put huge amount of capital, or they wanna make their household some benefit or reduce their cost. So listening this news, the found once time going higher and higher, right? But in the upcoming days, the UK economy is falling a recession, only lack of the leadership skill and leadership management technique. Why yen is so weak? We presently see the yen is going lower and lower, and yen perform the 24 years low against USD, right? Why? The difference interested between US and Japan makes the falling and the lower the yen, right? Maximum investor and funds flow Japan to the US economy. The for this they exchange their currency and buy US for more interest rates, for more gaining more capital. This reason the yen, the demand basically going lower and lower, and the dollar value going higher and higher, right? Imagine how powerful the knowledge. I think this kinds of information fully increase your knowledge, right? So this information may help you how the market behavior in the upcoming days, and using previous sentimental analysis, previous macro factors, and upcoming economical events, you can put your investment clear and safe. Be a knowledge lover and consume knowledge from the outsource, and what you love from books, it may be content, and control your skill management, right? Basically judgment and the accountability is the key for growing in your demand, right? So makes the judgment skill and the accountability skill, you will be go upper and upper in the previous session. So thank you for today.